So I got myself a new projector. One problem. It doesn't do anything. No, literally. It does absolutely nothing. You plug in a power cord and nothing happens. No lights, no noises, nothing. So I got this. This was a freebie. It actually came with my IBM ThinkPad 355C and the Sony VPL that I grabbed from that company that was kind of cleaning out its headquarters. And this was in the scrap bin, which I definitely rated. It caught my eye because not only was it very sleek and compact, but it also came with the original carrying case and the remote. So to me, that was like, that's all I need. It's also slightly nicer than the projector that I currently have. Well, I remember actually selling these things way back in the day when I worked for an office supply store. And we really didn't sell many of these because they were way more money than our walk-in customers were generally willing to spend. But I do remember reading the specs on these things. So this one is rated for 2,000 lumens. It has a roughly 2,000 hour lamp lifespan, which, as we all know, is probably bunk. I'll end up buying a spare bulb for it, I think. It has an automatically controlled lens cap, as well as an electronically controlled height adjustment, or tilt adjustment. It has automatic keystone adjustment, and it has a native resolution of 1024 by 768, and it can also scale up or down from that as needed. I'm not sure how high it'll go, but I'm gonna have to play with it in another video. Maybe if I get it working, we'll play with it. So it does do a thing. I mean, there's no power, nothing. So I already took it apart and I checked out the primary power supply, and it's putting out I want to say roughly 50 volts AC, or some odd number of AC voltage, some weird number that I don't remember. But the secondary side does nothing. So I did some research, and I found a YouTube channel, JVS Visual. It's run by a British guy. He has a very unique accent. I suggest you watch his videos. It sounds pretty cool. But he actually outlined the exact repair needed to get this projector from 0 to hero using just $10 worth of parts. In his video, he changed out the oscillator IC, the main oscillator IC on the power supply, as well as a couple of capacitors, which, you know, they're a few bucks a piece, if that. So I went ahead and I already ordered the parts. I figure it's worth at least trying to get it going. And when the parts come in, I'm going to bring it to work, where I have all my soldering equipment and a proper ESD-safe workbench. And lighting. Oh yes, there will be lighting, I promise. And we're going to go over the entire process of repairing this thing, and if we can get it to work, we'll test it out. Sound good? Alright. Today is Saturday, 4/29/2017, and the parts came for my projector. Yeah! Parts. Gotta love those. Unfortunately, I got a huge shipment of parts over the week I was out, so I have no way to get to my tools or supplies until I figure out what I'm going to do with 300 keyboards. And then whatever else is in those boxes, and that box, and oh my god. So, what we're going to be doing is replacing the oscillator IC on the secondary half of the power supply. Using, let's see, there's another capacitor. There we go. So I've got the actual IC right here. Found that on eBay for like, I think it was like $1. It wasn't much money. And it came with a socket. So I can socket this replacement to make future replacements even easier, which is kind of handy. Alright, so let's get it apart. Oh. Almost there. Got it. When you're servicing up to 20 Chromebooks a day, this screwdriver is a lifesaver. Take that out. Leave the bulb in, that can stay. And I think there's a screw behind the filter door. Yep, there's two there. I'm going to preheat my my desoldering iron, my desoldering station. Get that going. Okay. All right. I think that's it. And the cover should just come right off. Basically. There's a flex circuit cable here. We got to take that out. So we need to take out this board to access our power supply because it's kind of buried in there. So I'm going to start by disconnecting, well, everything. So, yeah, check this thing out. It really is pretty fancy. Sorry, my chair rolls really easily. So here's the lens cap, which is servo activated. As soon as you turn it on, that opens up. And oh, I guess it doesn't have a. I thought it did have a focus control, but it doesn't. It's actually manual. Focus and zoom are both manual. All right, so I was wrong about that. But this motor raises and lowers the projector at the touch of a button. Oh, did I mention that the entire projector's lower housing is made out of, appears to be magnesium alloy or something like that, which is pretty cool. We're going to start off by replacing this little IC right here. Let me get it up to the camera. It's this baby right here that we're changing out. This is a, make sure the new one is the right pin out. This is a Shindingen MCZ3010, or D. This is D. And we got a new one right here. Alright. Got our desoldering gun preheated. Let's make some magic. Let's make some smoke. Alright. Looks like a pretty simple job, so I'm going to put this little gun on there, and we're going to press the trigger. Okay, good. Alright. And the next one. Alright, we got the chip out. I unfortunately tore some of the land off, which will affect some stuff, but I can fix it. Not that big a deal. Just hope that none of it is, well, I'm sure it's all important. But anyway, there was one piece that I tore off right here. And I'm going to have to run a jumper from this side of this capacitor over to here, and I'm just going to run it right through. Let me get the socket in there. So there's a little bump on the socket. That's going to be pin 1, and that'll be oriented right here. Okay, at this point we need to run a jumper lead from that capacitor to, I think it was pin 5 on the IC chip. And you want to do your jumpers, if you screw up like I did, run your jumpers on the back side of the board. It's a lot easier that way. And we're using an enameled wire. And how you use that is you don't strip the enamel off, you let it melt with the solder. So you place it next to the point you wish to attach it to, and the heat of the soldering iron will melt the insulation and the adjacent solder, which will form an electrically valid union. At this point I was having some issues with the temperature of the iron being too low. I should mention the iron that I'm using is of very poor quality. I have better irons, but this one just happened to be on the bench, so I used it. And we're now attaching the enameled wire to the capacitor. Oh, it looks like we've attached it to the IC as well. And then we're going to trim off any excess enameled wire, and we're done. I'm going to change out those caps because I said I would. So the one I'm going to start off with is over here, 2200 microfarad 10 volt. An 820 5 volt. Get that replaced. Okay, now it's time to reassemble this projector. But first, we need to give it a new brain. So let's do that. Okay. Now that we have that handy socket in there, pop in a new chip whenever it blows up. How cool is that? Assuming, of course, that everything went well. All right. Obviously the lamp door has to be installed, but it won't turn on. And why not do the filter door while we're here? Okay. Alright. Ready when you are. Either it blows the hell up or nothing happens or what. Either way. I'm going to use our conference room for this. So here we go. Got the remote. Ready? Oh, that's so freaking cool. Look at that thing. It just, like Robo the projector. I'm going to lower it down a little bit. Can I do that with the remote? Probably somewhere. I can't focus it with the remote. See, I thought it had that ability for, wow, that's pretty bright. Let's turn the... Wow. Alright, I'm going to tilt it down. Oh, that's freaking crazy. Automatic adjustment. Look at that. Let's make the image bigger. Wow. That's impressive for a free projector. Let's go through the menu here. I want to see how many hours are on this thing. And see what the image is crystal clear. I mean, really clear. Let's see. It has 654 hours on the lamp. Oh, it's got a joystick. So, oh, that is so nice. So if I had the USB cable connected to my computer, I could control the pointer with this. This is the nicest projector I've ever owned. It's so nice. Built-in speaker, obviously. Wide mode. Yeah, 654 hours on the bulb. That could mean the whole projector. It looks like it might be the original bulb, so I'm going to say that's probably, yeah, the whole thing. Give it a little cleaning, put it back in the case, and I will use this for the yearly fundraiser that we do. This is way better than any projector I currently own, so, and it's bright too, even with the lights on. Turn the other light on, I mean, you can still see it. And compared to that one, which is probably way brighter, but the light's off, I mean, it's vivid. And let's take a good look at the convergence. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this projector. There's no convergence issues of any kind. There's no fading of the panels. Although the green is a little out of whack. It looks like the green might be a little out of alignment, but not by much. I don't have a computer handy to plug into it, so I'm not going to do that just yet. But it's not bad enough to where I'm going to call it a problem. Let's see. Yeah, just a tad out of focus there. But from here, it looks beautiful. Oh, that's so nice. I think it's time to shut her down. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to let it cool off, and I'll put it away. $10, I think it cost me. That's it. Even got the remote and the case. That's a win, I think.